Direct drive extruders are becoming more and more popular with 3D printing. So in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to calibrate your eSteps on this Ender 3 V3 SE, long name. Now, in a previous video, I demonstrated how to do this for a Bowden tube setup. I'll post a link to that video in the description. A poorly calibrated extruder is going to give you bad prints. It could be over extruding, it could be under extruding. Either way, it gives pretty bad results. Calibrating your eSteps is not as scary or as complicated as it might sound. It's actually pretty easy. It's simply making sure that the right amount of filament is passing through your extruder. That's it, a simple calculation. This video is sponsored by PCBWay. PCBWay is your one-stop destination for low-cost, high-quality circuit boards and assemblies. Get a quote with their user-friendly instant quote page that allows you to easily upload your designs and customize your order to perfection. PCBWay also offers a wide range of fabrication services, from precision CNC machining to cutting-edge 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication, and top-notch injection molding. PCBWay has it all. Hobbyist or professional, transform your ideas into reality with PCBWay. It's important to understand the difference between eSteps and flow rate. Your eSteps will determine how much filament is being pushed through the extruder. The flow rate is how much filament is coming out of the hot end. They are two different things altogether. I'll see people in the Facebook groups, Reddit, or the Discord groups telling people not to worry about the eSteps, just adjust the flow rate. That's not a good idea. Like I said, they're two totally different things, but they do work together. For example, having your eSteps too high and your flow rate too low, it's going to clog your nozzle. Your flow rate is going to vary from filament brand and type, while your eSteps are going to remain constant. Another thing to consider is that the more you use your printer, gears and motors, they're going to wear a little. So while your eSteps might be perfect in the beginning, a few months down the road, they might not be. It's worth knowing how to do this so that at the very least, you can eliminate it from the equation when trying to solve printing issues. Okay, enough talking about it. Let's get to it. I'm Bill, and this is Pushing Plastic. To calibrate your eSteps for the direct drive extruder, we'll need a few tools. A ruler capable of reading millimeters and a black Sharpie. That's it. Since we'll be marking the filament with the Sharpie, I like to use light colored filament so I can actually see the marks. The first thing we want to do is put the very edge of our ruler right on top of the extruder, this little bump where the filament enters. And with our filament held tight, we're going to put a mark at the 100 millimeter point and the 120 millimeter point. I try to keep those as thin as possible. Now what we need to do is preheat our extruder. We're going to do this for PLA. And we do this because the extruder will not extrude filament unless it's up to temperature. All right, now at this step, what we're going to do is extrude 100 millimeters of this filament down through the extruder and out the hot end. In a perfect world, we'll end up at the first marking. So we'll go to Prepare. We're going to hit Move. And I'm going to come down to Extruder. I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to turn my knob until this number reads 100.0. You don't want to overshoot this. It's real easy to do because it takes forever to get there. When I get to about 98, I really slow down. Okay, so I'm done my extruding. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but I can see my 100mm mark is right even with the top. So I already know that my eSteps are on. But what we can do is take our ruler and we can measure and make sure that we're right at 20mm. If it was anything less than 20mm, then I would be over extruding. But I'm right at 20. That's how we tell if we're safe or not. Because if you extrude too far or you're over extruding, the first mark will be inside of your extruder. So we're good here, and we don't have to do anything, but I'll show you what we would do if there was a problem. Now I moved my filament, but the black mark is above here, above the extruder. And this is to demonstrate what an under extruder looks like it's under extruding. What you would do, take your ruler and you measure from the top of the extruder to that mark. And it looks like I'm at about 8mm. So we take 100 minus 8, and that leaves us with 92. We're extruding 92mm instead of 100. And obviously we got that by subtracting the 8 from the 100. So we want to remember that 92. We're going to write that down in this case. But before we do anything else, I'm going to show you what it looks like if you were over extruding. Now, in this example, I have the printer set where it's actually showing an over extruded situation. We cannot see the first black mark at all, just the second. So in this case, we'll measure up to the second black mark. If it's anything less than 20, we are without a doubt over extruding. Let's take a measurement here. And it's looking like we're at 15. That's measuring from the top of the extruder to the second mark. So we take 20 minus 15, and that gives us 5. And then we'll add that 5 to the original 100mm. Now that tells us that we extruded 105mm when we intended to extrude only 100mm. So our value in this case is 105. Now let's move on and calculate our new eStep value. Okay, so we have our new measurements, and what we got to do is apply that to the printer. Before we do that, we need to know what the printer is currently set at as far as eStep. Now there's 2 ways we can do it. The first way is through the control panel. If you can do it through the control panel, that's great. That's the easiest in my opinion. The second way is through a USB cable hooked up to your computer. It's not that difficult. Another step, but it's not that difficult. I'm going to demonstrate both ways to go. All right, so to get the printer's current eSteps, we go to Control. Next, we're going to go to Motion. We're going steps per millimeter. And right down here at the bottom, steps per millimeter E. E is the extruder. We're set at 424.9. Now we can go run our calculations. So if we're using a printer that does not allow us to manipulate the eSteps from the control panel, we're going to need to use a slicer or a terminal program. I'm using Pronterface. It's a free download. You want to connect your computer to your 3D printer through a USB cable. Make sure it has data capabilities. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect by pressing this button in the upper left-hand corner. And I'm now connected to my printer, and I can confirm that by looking over here on the upper right hand corner, telling me my printer is now online. I'm going to drop down to the bottom right hand corner and I'm going to type in M503. I can click send or press enter, and that's giving me all the settings for my printer. I'm looking for the line that begins with M92, which is right here. At the end of that line, we can see E424.90. That is the current printer eSteps, and that's all there is to it. Now, you can also extrude your filament from here if you wanted to by coming down to the command box and typing in G1 space F100, E100, then F50, and you would either hit enter or send. And what that's telling your printer to do is extrude 100 millimeters of filament at 50 millimeters per minute. And that's all there is to it. Let's calculate our new eSteps. Now, assuming we measured 92 millimeters in our under extruding example, we'll divide 100 by what we measured, 92 millimeters for this example, and multiply by the current printer eSteps of 424.9. This makes our new eStep value 461.8. I'll show you how to update the printer with this new value both through the control panel and through the use of the USB connection. Okay, so now that we know what our new eStep value should be, we go back to control. We're going back to motion just like we did to get the value. We're going down to steps per millimeter, and we're coming down to steps per millimeter E for extruder. I'm going to click on that, and we're going to adjust. That's a major difference. Your eSteps will never be off this much, by the way. Well, I guess it is possible, but doubtful. Turning this until we come to 161.8, which is what we calculated. Press the button. Now we go back, and you don't want to miss this step. Go to store and make sure you do this. If you don't, it's not going to save your configuration. Next time you turn off your printer, it's going to go back to the original setting. So store it, you'll hear the beep, and you're good to go, and you can go back ahead and start printing. So for the printers that do not allow us to manipulate the eSteps from the control panel, we're back in the printer face. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to connect. If you remember last time we typed in M503 to retrieve all of our settings, we can see that our current eSteps are 424.9. I'm coming down to the command prompt in the bottom right hand corner. I'm going to type in M92 space E461.8, and I'm going to press enter. And now if I type in M503, when we look at that line right up here, you can see where it changed our eSteps to 461.8. We need to save that. So you'll want to type in M500. And now that's stored to our EEPROM. That's all there is to it. Pretty simple, but pretty important. It's the first change I make to any of my printers. I hope you found the information in this video helpful. If you did, hit that like button and let me know in the comments. Smash that bell so you'll be alerted to new content in the future. Live your life one layer at a time, and if you haven't done it yet, please consider subscribing.